नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये। नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवतीरुत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नंदनाय च नंदगोपकुमाराय गोविंदाय नमो नमः। तप्तकांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। Hare Krishna. So today we are reading from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Lila, chapter 2, text number 99 to I think 104. Chapter entitled Lord Chaitanya, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Am I audible to everybody? Everybody can hear? किशोर स्वरूप कृष्ण स्वयं अवतारी क्रीड़ा करे इच्छाय रूपे विश्वभारी। किशोर स्वरूप कृष्ण स्वयं अवतारी क्रीड़ा करे इच्छाय रूपे विश्वभारी। किशोर स्वरूप कृष्ण स्वयं अवतारी क्रीड़ा करे इच्छाय रूपे विश्वभारी। प्लीज चैंट। किशोर स्वरूप कृष्ण स्वयं अवतारी क्रीड़ा करे इच्छाय रूप विश्वभारी। किशोर कृष्ण स्वयं अवतारी क्रीड़ा करे इच्छाय रूप विश्वभारी। किशोर कृष्ण स्वयं अवतारी क्रीड़ा करे इच्छाय रूपे विश्वभारी। माता जी ओके। किशोर स्वरूप कृष्ण स्वयं अवतारी क्रीड़ा करे इच्छाय रूपे विश्वभारी। किशोर स्वरूप, whose real nature is that of adolescent. Krishna, Lord Krishna, Swayam, himself. Avatari, the source of all incarnations. Krida Kore, he plays. Hey, these, Chaya Rupe, in 6 forms. Vishwa, the universe. Bhari, maintaining. Translation, The personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, who is eternally an adolescent, is the primeval Lord, the source of all incarnations. He expands himself in these 6 categories of forms to establish his supremacy throughout the universe. So we will just read next verses, one after another. Eichaya rupe hoya ananta vibheda ananta rupe eka rupa nahi kichu bheda. In these 6 kinds of forms, there are innumerable varieties. Although they are many, they are all one. There is no difference between them. Purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. The personality of Godhead manifests himself in 6 different features. Prabhava, Vaibhava, empowered incarnations, partial incarnations, childhood and boyhood. The personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, whose permanent feature is adolescence, he enjoys his transcendental proclivities by performing pastimes in these 6 forms. In these 6 features, there are unlimited divisions of the personality of Godhead's forms. The jivas, or the living entities, are differentiated parts and parcels of the Lord, and they are all diversities of the one without the second. The Supreme Personality of Godhead. Text number 101. Chit Shakti Swarupa Shakti Antaranganam Tahara Vaibhava Ananta Vaikuntadi Dham. The Chit Shakti, which is also called Swarupa Shakti or Antaranga Shakti, displays many varied manifestations. It sustains the kingdom of God and its paraphernalia. Text number 102. Maya Shakti Bahiranga Jagata Karana Tahara Vaibhavananta Brahmandera Gana. The external energy called Maya Shakti is the cause of innumerable universes with varied material potencies. Text number 103. Jiva Shakti Tatasthakya Nahiyara Anta Mukhyati Na Shakti Tara Vibheda Ananta. The marginal potency, which is between these two, consists of numberless living entities. These are 3 principal energies which have unlimited categories and subdivisions. Purport. The internal potency of the Lord, which is called as Chit Shakti or Antaranga Shakti, exhibits variegatedness in the transcendental Vaikuntha cosmos. Besides ourselves, there are unlimited numbers of liberated living beings who associate with the Supreme Personality of Godhead in His innumerable features. The material cosmos displays the external energy in which the conditioned living beings are provided all liberty to go back home, back to Godhead, to the personality of Godhead after leaving this material tabernacle. The Shvetashvatara Upanishad 6.8 informs us, Natasya karyam karanam cha vidyate natat samaschabhyadikastat cha drishyate parasya shaktir vividhaiva shruyate swabhaviki jnana balakriyacha. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Supreme Lord, is one without the second. He has nothing to do personally, nor does he has material senses. No one is equal to him or greater than him. He has unlimited, variegated potencies of different names which exists within him as autonomous attributes and provide him full knowledge, power and pastimes. The last verse, text number 104. Emata Swarupagana arati na shakti sabhara ashraya Krishna Krishna sabhara sthiti sabhara ashraya Krishna Krishna sabhara sthiti. These are the principal manifestations and expansions of the personality of Godhead and his three energies. They are all emanations of Sri Krishna, the transcendence. They have their existence in him. Hari Bol. There is no need of class. Such beautiful shlokas are there. Omagyan timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupak Kada Mayam Dadati Swapadantikam Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Brinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So first of all, I would like to express my deep gratitude for allowing me to speak in between you. Thank you very much. Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita is the final stage of the knowledge of Krishna consciousness. Srimad Bhagavad-gita is graduation study of the spiritual science. Srimad Bhagavatam is the postgraduate study. And Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita is PhD study. Srimad Bhagavad-gita begins with confusion and ends with surrender. Karishye vachanam tava. I will do whatever you tell me. Before he says, please tell me what to do. In the end he says, I will do whatever you tell me. It's a great journey from confusion, bewilderment to clarity of the purpose of life. Srimad Bhagavatam begins from surrender. It talks about all the devotees who are surrendered and it culminates in love of the Lord. Srimad Bhagavatam is non-different from Srimati Radharani in one sense. It is the body of Krishna, but the heart is Radharani. And what Radharani does in her life and existence, in principle, is all that is explained in Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam is exactly manifestation of pure devotional service, and that is personified as Radharani. And then Chaitanya Charitamrita begins with love, and all the while it is only descriptions of activities of those who are in pure love for the Lord. So Srimad Chaitanya Charitamrita sometimes looks like only stories of dancing, eating, sitting, talking, again dancing, eating, sitting, talking. But it's not that superficial. The Chaitanya Charitamrita is expressing the deepest, most deep, most elevated divine love. And those who have that love, how do they behave? What do they do? How do they interact with the Lord? How Lord interacts with them? How do they interact with each other? What is the Vaishnava etiquette between them? How do they exhibit that? How do they exhibit their relationship with seniors, with juniors, with equals, with Guru, with Paramahamsas, with all personalities, Nitya Siddhas, everybody is there present. And the Lord is present in the most unique form. That is as a Bhakta avatar, as a devotee of the Lord. So, Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita is in one way secret. Because in the world, people generally confuse between Bhagavad-gita and Bhagavat. They think these are all one thing. So that much ignorance is there. But they know Bhagavad-gita, that Krishna spoke in the battlefield. But very few people who are very pious, they know Srimad Bhagavat. Because in India there are so many Srimad Bhagavat Saptahas going on everywhere. So something is known, stories about Krishna, which culminates in Krishna Lila in Vrindavan, which also talks about Rasa Lila. This understanding is there. But Chaitanya Charitamrita no one knows, except for us fortunate souls. There is nothing to be proud about it, but we are very fortunate, no doubt about that. Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita is very confidential, secret activities of the Lord. Because Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came as devotee, so he, whenever people would identify him as Supreme Lord, he would say Vishnu, Vishnu, Vishnu. So his whole purpose was to hide himself, Channa Avatar, to keep himself concealed and act as a devotee, because he wanted to actually be devotee and experience the sentiment of a devotee. How Radharani experiences that sentiment as a devotee, he wanted to experience that, and he accepted the sentiment of Radharani and came as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So he wanted to actually relish the inner, loving, deep, divine sentiments of love that Srimati Radharani has for him. So he didn't want to come in the realm of being Lord, so that experience will be cut off. He wanted to remain in that humble position of a devotee, to go on perpetually, consistently, continually experience that loving sentiment of Radharani's heart. And that is what is Chaitanya Charitamrita. Very uniquely it is written. Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami resided in Radhakund. There is a place there today also, the banks of Radhakund, where he wrote Chaitanya Charitamrita. He heard the memory lectures of Raghunath Das Goswami at the banks of Radhakund. Raghunath Das Goswami was one time about to commit suicide, and then Sanatana Goswami preached him. How dare you? You are a sannyasi. Your body no longer belongs to you. It is the property of Lord Chaitanya. You are only supposed to use your body and independence in only service for him. He was too morose in separation from Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So then I was advised by Sanatana Goswami, please, why don't you narrate your experiences with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? That will enliven you, that will make you have his association again in Vipralamba, in Pratyaksha also, and that will help the world. It will inspire everybody. Why don't you share your treasure? So he started narrating Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Uttara Lila at the banks of Radhakund. And Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami happened to be the audience. And he was making notes. It's very important to make notes in the lecture. Because, Kali Yuga memory is very poor. You may like many things in the class, it may strike your mind. As soon as you go out and participate in the world's atmosphere, immediately many things are forgotten, unless somebody really strikes you deep within. But if you want to remember everything, then one should humbly write down. Otherwise, Vyasadeva would not have come. Simply to write down. He came only to write down everything, so that everybody will be benefited. So Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami wrote down. And then he collected the Purva Lila of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu from the notes of Murari Gupta and Swarup Damodar, from his diary, and from the Kadchas of Murari Gupta. And then what he did, then he went to each and every devotee and bowed down to them. Not only senior devotees. He was 90-year-old. Who can be more senior than him? There must be, there were. But most of them were junior, because he was 90 already. So there may be some devotees 20, 25, 30, 40. He went to all of them, bowed down to them and begged for blessings. He didn't have the aura that I am the senior most, I am the oldest devotee here, I am residing at Radhakund. I have had association of Raghunath Das Goswami. And then he wrote down. And he keeps on writing in between again and again. I am unable to write. I am 90-year-old, my hand is shaking, my tears are flowing and they are wiping away my writings. It's a very difficult situation. But at the same time, it is a divine situation. Because what is impossible generally for a 90-year-old man to do, he is doing in his pristine, crystalline, clear consciousness. But he is so humble. He is maintaining that demeanor that please forgive me, I am not qualified. By the mercy of Rupa Raghunath, I am attempting to narrate. At many times he writes, I am unable to narrate what I am seeing or what I am understanding, because it is impossible to anybody to pen down what is exactly happening. If Mahaprabhu Chaitanya is dancing, how do I describe it? You only have to see the video, then only you will understand. So he expresses his inability to encompass everything or comprehend everything what he is actually observing or reading or understanding. And we have to understand one more thing, that when he was writing Chaitanya Charitamrita, he was not just referring to notes. He was referring to notes, no doubt, because he had to have the clue. But he was actually visualizing all the pastimes. That is the greatness of all our acharyas. They just didn't write something which they had memorized or, theoretically understood. They wrote what they realized, what they saw, what they perceived, what they were drowning in. That ecstasy they were sharing in the form of the story. So the Lila is of love. It is written with that kind of deep love, the same way, the same love, same kind of deep love, divine love, which the soul has originally for the Lord, in its best situation, perfect situation. And that's how Chaitanya Charitamrita is appearing, descending in the material world. And Chaitanya Charitamrita is the essence of Bhagavad-gita, Srimad Bhagavatam and Chaitanya Charitamrita itself. Everything is there in that. I will tell you how. I was working in Saudi Arabia for 2 years. Somehow, Vipala Sevuna Kripana Durjana, Chapala Sukhala Balagire. For some difficult situations in family, I had to leave India and to stay in Yavanadesh for 2 years. And you can't take any Bhagavad-gita or any kind of spiritual book, or you can't take any symbols like mala, joli, or you cannot wear tilak, or you can't wear any devotional dress, nothing. And the customs only, they'll throw everything away. If at all you carry some cassettes or that time CDs or anything, they'll throw away. So what I had done was, I knew I cannot take many books. I can take maximal one book. So I was just meditating for many days what I should take, and that too, how should I take. So we had, even today may be having, we that time had all volumes condensed in one volume, Chaitanya Charitamrita. How many of you have seen that? It's big, this big, very beautiful book, hardbound. So I removed the hard binding and I took many pages in front and behind and covered them with lot of plastic and everything and put some photographs inside and locked it and wrote Textbook of Medicine by Dr. Golwala. We had a famous textbook. And back and forth, and it was like an old looking, little darkened book. So it looked like a book which is studied for many years. And I'm anyway doctor, so there would be no problem. And there were many other books, cookbooks and story books and so many things, just for the purpose of hiding that book in between those books. And then, believe me, the custom officer picked up this same book in the hand. Now I understood he is going to throw in dustbin. He saw, he just moved around like this, Like this he did. It had a big cover with bold writings, Textbook of Medicine. So he just gave it back to me. He just saw other books were cookbooks, so he just sent everything back to me. In my coat jacket, there were one cassette of one lecture of Bhagavatam. Only one lecture of Bhagavatam. And then that was the only thing that I had in Saudi Arabia. I was alone for many months there, living in the desert, working. So every morning, this is my heartfelt experience I'm sharing with you. Every morning, I would read about 45 minutes to 1 hour Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. And the purports of Chaitanya Charitamrita contained the essence of Bhagavad-gita, Bhagavatam and Chaitanya Charitamrita itself also. It had everything. You don't need, because Prabhupada keeps on quoting Bhagavad-gita, Bhagavatam. I mean, now also you have quoted Shvetashvatara Upanishad. So he kept on, he keeps on quoting all the wonderful scriptures. Bhagavad-gita shlokas come many times, Bhagavatam comes many times. In fact, there are so many shlokas Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is quoting from Bhagavatam in Chaitanya Charitamrita, this written by Krishnadas Kaviraj. And one of the unique experiences I had when I was early morning Brahma Muhurta reading Chaitanya Charitamrita, that I felt like Srila Prabhupada is kindly putting me in his lap with his one hand on my shoulder, reading for me the purport. That means speaking to me what he is writing. Finally it is word only, it is dhvani only. Dhvani in the form of script. But what is it? It's dhvani only, shruti. It's sound actually. It only required some absorption, because without that you can't feel Prabhupada is speaking to you. And there was all seclusion available. There's nobody around. Only you and Krishna and Prabhupada. So there was a daily experience of Srila Prabhupada explaining Chaitanya Charitamrita purports one to one. And I can tell you today also, if we read Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita or Srimad Bhagavatam purports with that kind of focus, you will feel Srila Prabhupada is speaking to you. You will definitely feel that intimacy, that compassion, that love that Srila Prabhupada has for all of us, whom he has not seen in his physical body presence. He wrote these purports in the middle of the night, almost every night, wherever he travelled. First canto of Srimad Bhagavatam he wrote in seclusion in Radha Damodar Mandir. Absorption, full absorption from morning till midnight, late night. Till the darshan got closed of Radha Damodar. He would open the door and sweep the floor of Radha Damodar temple with tears in eyes, with singing songs of praise for Rupa Goswami. And then he would eat the prasadam which is left at his doorstep in the afternoon after Raj Bhoga arati. He would not even remember. He was so much in ecstasy. That is why he rightly said, "Ki my purports are my spiritual ecstasies." This is not poetic statement to impress the world, It's a fact of the heart, because when you read that with that kind of concentration and focus, you will feel how much compassion he has, with how much compassion he is writing. And he is many times writing so-called irrelevant things, but they are most important for the audience who is reading those books. So we are not reading some literary literature, something sahitya. We are not reading sahitya. We are reading a heart of a pure devotee. Many of the philosophers in India is full of philosophers of varieties of siddhantas and darshanas. They said that these purports are not routine purports. They are purports of a hardcore devotee at heart. They don't express many times meanings, the word to word meanings as the Sanskrit guides you. They talk about the matithartha, the anvayartha, that is the essence of the meaning that it conveys, that is translated by Prabhupada. Because a devotee can translate or purport anything as per his devotion only. There is no philosophical dominance in his expression of heart. If you squeeze an orange, only orange juice will come out from the bitter peel also. Bitter peel will break, and through that orange juice will come out. You squeeze a ripe mango, through that bitter peel, the sweet mango juice will come out. So if you squeeze the heart of a pure devotee, what will come out? Pure devotion, love for the Lord. And that is what Chaitanya Charitamrita is itself manifestation of love and the story of people who have love. And that is purported and written by a devotee who has that kind of love in his heart, pure, samprukta, fully saturated heart with love. And plus it is confidential. It is not available to everybody. We sell Srimad Bhagavatam sets, and sometimes we are able to sell sets of Chaitanya Charitamrita. But the proportion is, on top is Bhagavad-gita, next number is Bhagavatam sets, and then next number comes Chaitanya Charitamrita. By the time anybody buys Chaitanya Charitamrita, you have to understand he's already become a devotee of Lord Chaitanya, devotee of Lord Krishna. So we here and amongst the ISKCON devotees in the world are the most fortunate people who have been introduced, exposed to Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. And that too written at the place of Radha Kund, which is supposed to be the highest abode, the highest abode of the most intimate Leelas between Radha and Krishna and Gopis. This place of Radha Kund, even Balaramji doesn't come, please understand. As Balaramji, he has Shantaras, Dasyaras, Sakhyaras and Vatsalyaras also. But as Balaramji in the male body doesn't have Madhurya Ras, that he is experiencing as Ananga Manjari. He becomes Ananga Manjari and accepts the Madhurya Ras and stays with Radha and Krishna and takes birth as Radharani's younger sister in the house, in the family. But as Balaram, he comes, the last stop is Kusum Sarovar. And there's a temple of Balaramji at Kusum Sarovar. So it was quite Kutuhal, that is, Jigyasa was there. Why there is temple of Balaramji at Kusum Sarovar? There is no Lila of Balaramji at Kusum Sarovar. So I was told by the local devotees that from here he is watching over the Lila of Radhakund and Shamkund. Because from Kusum Sarovar, Radhakunda Ghira, the circle of Radhakunda begins. And out of great divine respect for Radharani and conjugal love of Radha and Krishna, he doesn't want to interfere or disturb them because he's an older brother. If he is around, then the Lila will not take place out of sankoch, out of embarrassment. So he stays there and is constantly gazing over. He stays in Govardhan as Jhoka Dauji in the pink temple beyond Govind Kund. And what is he doing? Again, not to embarrass Radha and Krishna performing Rasa Lila, he is there in the form of Dandavat position. And in Dandavat position, he is observing with such ecstasy that he becomes stabdha. He gets stunned. His mukut falls down on the stone, and with the divinity of that mukut and the emotions, the mukut melts, the crown melts in the stone and becomes Mukut Shila. But what is he doing? He is not aware of all these things. He is simply watching incognito, without Radha, Krishna and Gopi's knowledge that they are doing Ras Lila. Without their knowledge, he is observing and trying to relish. So he is interested in Madhurya Bhav, but he doesn't want to embarrass Krishna. So same way, in Radha Kund, he is not there. From that side also Uddhav Kund is the border. From there, Radha Kund Ghira starts. And in such an intense place, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami at the age of 90, when materially all his senses are almost gone, old, defunct. He can't see properly, can't hear properly. But his consciousness, his Atma, his Chaitanya is completely divinely pure and endowed with so much of blessings and mercy of Sanatan Goswami, Rupa Goswami, Raghunath Das Goswami, Murari Gupta, Swarup Damodarji, and existing all junior most devotees, sincere devotees. He was empowered to shower this ambrosia to the material world in the form of Chaitanya Charitamrita. Literally also it means, it is the charitra of Chaitanya. What is Chaitanya? The spark within. And what does the spark within naturally do? That is Charita. That is the life story of the spark within. And what is it like? It's like Amruta. It's like nectar. And it's kindness of Srila Prabhupada. that within his lifetime, he could not complete Srimad Bhagavatam. But he somehow saw that he completed Chaitanya Charitamrita. He took a break in between Bhagavatam and wrote story form 10th canto in Krishna books. 1 volume, 2 volume, 3 volume. 3 volumes he wrote. Volume 1, 2, 3. And again he started writing Bhagavatam. But he took a break and started writing Chaitanya Charitamrita. And he was writing in such a speed that devotees were not able to publish. So one time he stopped. He called devotees, I will stop writing now. Because you guys are not publishing it by speed. He said, Prabhupada, what we do? One book like this, with hard binding and with book, with photographs and with captions and everything. It takes 1 month. And you are expecting 17 volumes. How do we do that? He said, I am stopping writing right now. I have completed Chaitanya Charitamrita. Within 30 days from now, I want all the 17 volumes to be published. Otherwise, I will not write only till you publish. And it was an impossible task for any human standard, from any perfect material standards of printing. It was not possible to print 17 books. But that time Rameshwar Maharaj took it upon himself. That what is not possible? If Guru's mercy is there, impossible becomes possible. Prabhupada said impossible is a word in the dictionary of a fool. So they took it up to themselves. Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langayate girim yat kripa tamaham vande Sri Gurum Dinatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Sri Chaitanya Ishwaram. What is impossible when one is empowered by the mercy of the Sri Gurudev? And they were already instructed. Power was within the instruction and they took it upon themselves. And lo and behold, they published 17 volumes of Chaitanya Charitamrita in 1 month's time. How much pleasure Srila Prabhupada must have received that time. His disciple made impossible thing possible. And because of some devotees slogged day and night, forgetting eating and drinking and sleeping at times. They worked day and night just to fulfill the desire and the word of their spiritual master, Srila Prabhupada. And that is why the books are over here. And when it was written, there was no printing press that time. They were written on, I think, Burjapatra or something, some ancient technology with juice of fruit as ink. And it was preserved leaf by leaf. And then they were stacked and one grantha is ready. And then you had to have a copy. Someone has to write it down again. And that was done in the history of Gaudiya Vaishnavas after Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Janava Devi asked, in Bengal there are no scriptures. Everything is there with Jiva Goswami in Vrindavan. So they copied everything. Around 400,000 verses were copied, and that too in pristine, jewel-like handwriting. And all was taken in bullock cart. There was no motor cars or helicopter or airplane in those days. In bullock cart, they were taken to Bengal by Srinivas Acharya, Narottam and Shamanand. And they were stolen in between. And they remained stolen and not available for many, many years. And long story happened. Acharya Srinivas said, Narottam, you go to Kheturi, Shamananda, you go to Bengal and you preach. My duty is to make these scriptures, find them and make it reach to Janava Devi wherever she wanted it. So he entered Birambir, that place where the king Birambir was there. What is the name of the village? Van Vishnupur. Is that right? Yes, Van Vishnupur. And after a long time he preached everybody, and finally there was a debate. I'm cutting it short. And in that debate, King Birambir said that if you win the debate with the local pandits, I will surrender to you as my Guru. And he did defeat everybody very humbly, not in the pride. And king became his disciple. And he said, Gurudev, please tell me, how do I serve you? What do you want? So I want the scriptures. Do you know where the scriptures are? He said, yes, I have stolen them with my people and it is in my godown. So at that time, Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita was right below, at the bottom. And many other books, Bhagavatam, everybody was on top, and Bhagavad-gita. But when the whole package, which was looted by the thieves, assistants of king, they were all kingdom of thieves. So he had sent, his astrologer had told him that some big treasure is coming in your kingdom. Please watch for it and achieve it. So they were thieves, so they wanted to get it. And then somebody told, the big treasure is there in the bullock cart, which is guarded by some Vaishnavas. Very simple looking, not so strong physically or armed. So they looted and they brought it to the king. They never saw. They thought big wealth is there and they put it in the storehouse. But when it was brought back by the king as offering to his guru, now Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita was on the top. Like when we boil the milk, what happens? The cream which is there inside everywhere in the milk comes on the top. The process of boiling brings the essence of the milk on the top. So like that, with that Lila, it was proved that Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita is the cream of all the Vedic literatures. All the literatures which talk about the Lord and his pastimes, Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita is the cream. That is why with this Lila, it came up to the surface. With this understanding, we should read Chaitanya Charitamrita. That we are reading something the best of all best. And somehow we have the fortune of reading it. We have the access towards it. So not just 1 hour a day, we should meditate. We should hear attentively. We should make notes. We should meditate. We should repeat to somebody. We should revise it and keep telling to somebody. Then it will become Atmasat. It will be known by you at heart. And when these activities we do, focused hearing, meditating, repeating, writing, then Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will start revealing his Leelas in your heart. That will become your consciousness, Chaitanya consciousness. So what is Lord Chaitanya's Charitamrita will also become the Charitra of your Chaitanya. That is your soul. It will become character of our soul. Everything requires attention and focus. Like the gopis, when they pluck flowers, if they are told to, suppose some gopi is told to pluck yellow flower, she does not know anything in the whole universe, in her life, in her existence at that time, except the yellow flower. Nothing else exists. There are pink flowers and golden flowers and maroon flowers and there are blue flowers. Everything is there. And everybody else is also plucking those beautiful flowers as per the instruction received by them. But every gopi will see only that color of flower which has been told to her to pluck. Full absorption. And that full absorption is the price to achieve that love and that seva. So we have to feel utmost gratitude to be able to read Chaitanya Charitamrita. When I asked for the verse, I thought I'll get a Bhagavatam verse. And I got Chaitanya Charitamrita verse. I get confirmed. Are you sure you are right or wrong? By mistake you are given something? No, we are reading Chaitanya Charitamrita in RadhaRasbihari Mandir. It's a very wonderful practice. Everyone should adopt this practice. After we finish reading Srimad Bhagavatam, we should read Chaitanya Charitamrita. Only on Monday? Oh, so it is my fortune also. But that's a good practice, very nice practice. Srila Prabhupada would hold Chaitanya Charitamrita classes separately. He would hold Nectar of Devotion classes separately also, apart from the daily schedule. There are so many lectures he gave in New Vrindavan on Nectar of Devotion, on that old Vrindavan mountain. And so many Chaitanya Charitamrita classes. I hope you have that box, Srila Prabhupada Vani. It is the greatest treasure in life, greatest gift you can ever receive. All the lectures segregated, and there are also hundreds of lectures segregated of Chaitanya Charitamrita spoken by Prabhupada. Very beautiful, very beautiful. Every morning I hear Srila Prabhupada. Because there is so much efforts have been done to, put it in the organized way, in the sound form, So if you say you are very, 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 very busy, I can tell you when you are not busy. You are busy in the washroom, you are free in the washroom in the morning. In the washroom, everything is engaged, but ears are free. So this speaker you start and put it in the bathroom platform. And while taking bath, while brushing, please hear Srila Prabhupada. It will enlighten your life, enliven your life, it will enrich you, empower you. It will nullify all the negativities that yesterday gave you, somehow, yesterday's day. You know, when you get up in the morning, the first thing that comes to your mind are the strong experiences of yesterday. And mostly, negativities hurt you or hit you hardest than the good things. So first thing you remember something which has happened very bad in the morning, in the yesterday, but it comes to your mind as first thing in the thought in the morning. And if you keep yourself empty in the washroom while you are doing pratar vidhi, then they will be like reminisced, rumination will be done, manthan, manan, chintan will be taking place. And you are beginning your day with your negativity. But when you hear Prabhupada in the morning, all those negativities we are trying to come in, they will be thrown out of the mind. And you will be, prepped up by Srila Prabhupada's divine words. And he speaks such wonderful things. Golden words, golden lines come out when you hear Prabhupada. It's the greatest fortune. If you say you are so busy, you are not busy in the morning in the washroom. So please use that box and fill your time, all gaps in life with Prabhupada's words. Like, suppose you put oil in a plastic bag and you tie it nicely. Sometimes you carry achar in plastic and you think it will not leak. But through plastic also, the oil of achar leaks. Why I am telling this to you? Because however busy you are, there are always gaps in our consciousness through which Maya enters and spoils our mind. And we have to plug all those things by covering it with divine sound. And that divine sound is Srila Prabhupada's sound, our Gurudev's sound, which will not have the leak even through the plastic the way it has. So, this is the way our life is so blessed. We are all very fortunate. Not that we have to become proud for that, but we have to understand how fortunate we are. Truly we have to understand how fortunate we are. Humbly we have to understand. So that the more you feel how fortunate you are, the more grateful you become, the more gratitude you develop. And the more gratitude we have, the more grateful we are, the more mercy will flow from all our Supreme Personality Godheads, different forms. Gaur Nitai, Lalita, Vishaka, Radha, Ras, Bihari, Sita, Ram, Lakshman, Hanuman, Srila Prabhupada, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati. All these divine personalities will shower their blessings upon us. Gratitude is one virtue that attracts the mercy of the Lord. Suppose you are drowning in ocean. You don't have so much value. Ocean is next door to you. Those people who stay on the bank of the ocean, they don't go to ocean every day. But people from UP, they come out all the way to India, Bombay, to see the ocean. And they feel so thrilled. Oh, you are staying on the bank of the ocean. But those who are on the bank of the ocean, they don't feel so thrilled about it because they see it every day. So there's a contempt. When you get greatest thing every day, then you don't have so much feeling for the greatest thing every day. You eat jalebi every day, you will say after 8 days, you bring something else. This is like every day the same thing. Best of best, best quality, fried in ghee, with saffron. So similarly, Chaitanya Charitamrita, Srimad Bhagavatam, life of a devotee, life in the temple of Krishna, life in ISKCON temple is all greatest gift to all of us. But because we are already inside, we think why there is no sweet in the lunch? Why only Wednesday pakoda is there? So many things we take out faults. we fight with somebody and we feel, why I'm here? Why the hell I came here? But we don't know that we are living in the spiritual world. I'm not saying this. Srila Prabhupada is saying this. He said, my temples are spiritual world. At some point of time he said, my temples are windows to spiritual world. Both ways it is absolute. It is same thing. And our acharyas say that when you go to embassy of any country, suppose you come to American embassy in India, and you enter the gate of the American embassy, it's not a small building, it's a huge area generally. It's a full campus. As soon as you enter the campus, American law is existing there. What prevails there is law of American country. India is no more India is there in that particular part of the land. It is run by American rule. Whatever dress code, eating code, code of conduct, everything is American. So similarly, when you enter temple, being embassy of spiritual world, only the laws of spiritual world prevail here. And what is the law of spiritual world? It's only law of love. It doesn't even remain law anymore. It just is love. From beginning, middle and end is only love. And that is what we are supposed to experience here. That is what is supposed to be here. It is here. We have to connect to that. Even though we are inside the temple as full-timers, we need to connect with that energy of love that is available in the temple. The Lord who is unlimited, who is difficult to be perceived or understood by our material senses. That is why he is called as Adokshaja, beyond the reach of our material senses. The aura or the field or prabhav of the material senses. Lord is much beyond that. He is transcendental. That is why he is called as transcendental. Triguna Tita. And the senses have its prabhav, its influence only in Triguna realm. But that Lord who is Adokshaja, I am quoting Prabhupada again from the morning lectures. That Adokshaja Lord, beyond the range of the senses, chooses to come within the range of the senses in the form of Vigraha. Because we cannot perceive the Lord being Adokshaja. So out of his kindness, Prabhupada says, he comes within the realm of our senses in the form of a deity, so that anybody who is not transcendental also can relate to the Lord, can see the Lord. Lord will be seeing you. You can serve the Lord. You can decorate him. You can offer him foodstuffs. You can offer your heart to him. You can relate to him. You can connect with him. So this Vigraha is a great mercy upon us. But generally, we will take lifetimes to achieve the Sakshatkar, the realization. It is available every day here. His Holiness Jayadvaita Maharaj one time asked, where is Krishna? Have you seen Krishna? He said, I see him every day in the morning at 4:30 and 7:15. No, I'm talking about Krishna. He said, yes, I'm talking about the same Krishna. Because you and me see them as achala, not moving. But the pure devotees, like Srila Prabhupada, see them fully active, smiling, doing Lila on the altar. On this altar, Mayapur Lila is taking place through Gauranga and Nityananda. On the middle altar, Shri Vrindavan Dham Lila taking place with Radha-Rasbihari and Gopis. And that altar, Saket, Ayodhya Dham Lila is taking place. And it's a fact. It's not a poetry. It's a fact. And how do we connect to that? Through the mercy of pure devotees, our Guru Maharaj, we can actually see. If you come to see every day, you will see them different. Someday they are happy, someday they are upset, someday they are angry. You can feel that today he is not happy with me. Because they reciprocate. If you have faith, they reciprocate. If you don't have faith, they don't have to reciprocate with you. But if you have faith that they are there for you. So first is understanding. Then there is sambandha. Our philosophy is very clear. Then there is sambandha, connection. Then there is abhideya, service. And then there is love. What is that? Prayojana, for which we are here. So everybody outside feels, I know Krishna, I know Lord, that's all. The jnanis, the karmis, everybody knows the Lord. And that's the end of the matter. Our matter begins from knowing the Lord first. Knowing, connecting, serving and developing love, relationship with the Lord. That kind of philosophy we have been given. It's already 9 o'clock, I'll take 2 more minutes. In this particular hall where we are sitting, I have experienced that 40 years back. His Grace Dayaram Prabhu was preaching to me. I was arguing with him. And I said finally, please don't come anymore. I've heard you, I've understood everything. I am not interested. So please don't come anymore. He would come from Juhu temple. He was a brahmachari, student of IIT at that time. You must be remembering those days. He would come here, change into saffron and come all the way to my hospital, JJ Hospital, Arembat Hostel with some Mahaprasad. And that time used to bother me constantly trouble me. I used to be angry, upset, arguing, but he would not give up. Finally, I said, finally, don't come. So he said, you are my college friend and we are very good friends. Do you agree with that? I said, yeah. Friendship, no, is no problem. So for the sake of my friendship, please come one day to temple. That is this temple. I mean, in a young age, we are very, very highly emotional youth, Hare, dosti ka wasta diya. So yes, I will come. So I came on 4th February 1984. I stayed overnight. Maybe third evening I came here. I took prasad in the prasadam hall. I attended Sandhya arati. And I was criticizing the way they were dancing. Because I was an expert disco dancer. So I was thinking, what kind of dance is this? Then I was thinking, why you all just dance? You can sit down and pray to the Lord, no? Why you have to just dance like this in a very weird way? I was in that mood. At night I stayed in Brahmachari ashram. And then there should be big drums, blue color, filled with water. You have to put your bucket and psh. So I was woken up at 3 in the morning. Imagine what kind of person I was. And then Dayaram Prabhu poured his buckets on me also. And I had to wake up and take it ready, and I came down here. And it was like very dim light. His Holiness Sridhar Swami was there. His Holiness Amiya Vilas Swami was there. They were all very gambhir, chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare, before Mangalarti. Then Mangalarti began. And I can't narrate it, it will take long time, but the way the 3 doors opened, the way the conch shell was blown, the way the curtains opened, all dim light everywhere, only the Lord, some light is there. So you have to focus on the Lord only, what you are seeing and after opening. And that experience of well coordinated Mangalarti changed my heart completely. It was like I could feel that RadhaRasbihari is not stone. Talking about the day 1 of my life in temple. But that time also, there was a call. The Lord is calling you, please come. Give up all these nonsense arguments. Come. You are mine. All of you are mine. Please come. And that was the end of all arguments, all intellectual jugglery, all arrogance. Everything was over. And then I went on Juhu beach to walk. Then again, His Holiness Sridhar Maharaj gave Bhagavatam class. He was known as Jolly Swami. Oh, I remember him so fondly. We have such close relations with him. I really miss him. So night also he had taken us to Prabhupada's room quarters, and he had, young boys, medical students, like we are like VIPs. We used to stay in temple A, temple B rooms here. We would be given Govinda Prasadam like medical students. So he had taken to Prabhupada's quarters, and next morning also he only gave class. And a very jolly, beautiful class he gave. I liked it very much. And after the class, there was a queue. So I stood in the queue as everybody was standing. Dayaram Prabhu was standing. My friend Dinesh. And then in the end, that beautiful kheer came. Do you still distribute that? Wow. There was a devotee inside the kitchen who had a lot of boils on his body. There's a neurofibromatosis disease he had. Very wonderful devotee. Very elderly devotee. He would make that kheer previous night and you would store it in the refrigerator, and it was cold, and it would be offered in Mangal Bhog to the Lord, and that would be given to all the devotees after Bhagavatam class. And that feel of that on our palm is divine, indescribable, and the taste is amazing. And the first thought comes in your mind, can I get more? And the answer is no. It's limited. But that, the Lord's first interaction was through eyes, next interaction was through ears, and third gross interaction was through the tongue. Unforgettable. How the Lord is calling all of us, please come. Don't waste your life or loitering into the realm of Maya, what is explained in these verses. Everywhere material world, the Maya Shakti is in the variegated form. Vividhaiva Suyate is having her kingdom, capturing all people on this in their net. But there is a rescue here. He's calling. How he came, Rasbihariji here. How he stayed under the tin, tolerated so much inconvenience, simplicity, but he relished the heart of Prabhupada and devotees. And today we are here. The fruit of all the tapasya of Prabhupada and his disciples, His Holiness Giriraj Maharaj, and you name them, there are so many of them who gave their life to bring this up. In the middle of the wilderness, where animals would come, wild animals. People are asking, why you are making temple here in the wilderness, smuggling area, so many things were there. But today, you can't even imagine, can't even believe the situation when Prabhupada came here. That is vision. That is divine vision. And the divine vision is only to give mercy to all of us. Even Vrindavan temple, Ramanriti, from Ramanriti, 28 kilometers was Radhakund. And sun ray would not touch the ground from Ramanriti to Radhakund. That kind of thick forest was there. All wild animals. Brajvasis asked, why Prabhupada you are building temple here? He said, you wait and watch. And today what we are watching? We waited, some of us waited, and what are we watching? What are we watching today here? The best time to come here only in Mangala arati to Bhagavatam times. After that, only crowd and crowd, and of course Lord is still there, divinity is still there, but perception is not so much that we get in the company of sincere devotees in the morning. So I am here to only express my gratitude. This is the compound where I got initiated on 26 January 1986. Cannot forget, it's all imprinted in my brain. There were 38 doctors who got initiation that time. His Holiness Sridhar Swami did the yagya. And he was the president that time. And he gave me tension. I said, Maharaj, my name will be there. He said, I will see. It depends. Like that. He was leading on the ambassador car and I was asking him and very casually answering. He was like that, very jolly kind of person. So he did our yagya. So such are the fondest of memories of thousands of devotees here. Their life of connection with Krishna is linked with this temple. Their spiritual lives have begun in this temple. And this temple is still, that kind of vibration is there. That kind of potency is still there. Filled with spiritual energy. You have to just connect it. Don't see the crowds or don't see the magnanimity. Sometimes when we become magnanimous, then we feel we are diluted. It is not so. It is still, because I can see, because I have come 40 years back and I keep coming, and now I come, I can see that the same energy is there. It's not different. It is not, there are a lot of changes are there. Like that bale fruit tree is now no more, and right? But one tree left her body, right? Yeah, one of the trees, very ancient tree, left her body. So changes will be there as per the time. But divinity doesn't change with time. Time is not affecting divinity. Divine situation doesn't change with the effect of time. And we need to, by the mercy of Guru and the Vaishnavas around us, should be able to connect with that divinity. Then our life will become divine. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. I cannot explain to you what I feel, but this is the first ever class I am giving at Radha Rasbihari. So my heart is filled with, so much of emotions that this is where I was inducted into Krishna consciousness. Any questions are there, if allowed to ask?
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. Very wonderful your experience and all. One devotee was saying, Chaitanya Charitamrita means CC.
CC.
In the beginning you said, CC means chanting and cooperation. So how to cooperate with devotees.
Very nice point.
This, our Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami never met Lord Chaitanya?
I think not. Because he was after 6 Goswamis. I may not be absolutely correct, but as per my reading and my hearing, he had not met Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He only learnt about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu through the writings and through personal association of Raghunath Das Goswami. Another meaning of CC is see. Don't forget to see. See. Don't miss it. Please see. Anybody else? Yes.
Hare Krishna Guruji. Thank you very much for a very wonderful class. It was so absorbing the way you were telling pastimes of Vrindavan. So one question that I had was, you were mentioned very nicely about we need to be absorbed and then we can feel that Prabhupada is speaking to us in our readings, hearing. So, and then you also explained one more point that whenever we get anything daily, and then you mentioned that, as we say, ati parichaya tavagya, it breeds contempt. So, just wanted to understand that how to really, be careful from that, because that is something which, makes us, bereft of that pleasure, that, that spiritual thing.
That opportunity.
Yeah, that opportunity to be able to experience that.
Privilege, opportunity. The only answer to this is regular association of devotees. Which means you have to read, you have to hear, you have to chant. And you have to come to the program regularly. Because Srila Prabhupada incorporated 42 principles of 64 principles in the morning program till Prasad. So when you are coming for Mangala arati to Prasad, the full program, you are automatically performing 42 items of 64 items of pure bhakti given by Rupa Goswami. How do we not become ati parichayat avagya? How do we not develop or prevent contempt? Is by regularly reading about it, hearing about it. If you are grihasthas, if somebody tells ki your wife is a very good cook and she cooks for you every day, and we still find faults in that. But somebody should keep telling you every day your wife is a very good cook. So you keep remembering that what I am eating is actually the best of all best foods. But because of my contempt, I am finding fault in that. So how do I prevent that contempt? By regularly hearing from somebody else that she is a very good cook. We hanker for that. You are eating every day. So like that, what are you going through every day? You have to keep hearing from the higher authorities in the lectures, to Prabhupada, to Guru Maharaj, that this is the greatest fortune, this is the greatest fortune, this is the greatest privilege. This is the, after millions of lifetimes of seva and punya, one gets this opportunity of Shuddha Bhakti in the company of Shuddha Bhaktas. You have to keep on hammering yourself with this reality, which doesn't change. But we have to keep hammering that reality on our brain, so that we don't develop contempt. But if you take things for granted, contempt is guaranteed. If you take the prasad in Brahmacharya ashram every day for granted, it is like any ordinary thing in life. If you take the Bhagavatam class, darshans, Sringar arati out for granted, it is like anything else. Every day we, what is there? Today if I don't go, what happens? Every single thing that we are receiving here is all privilege and all prestigious. But our material mind of Kali Yuga needs to be reminded again and again through sound. Then you can protect yourself from contempt. What I am telling is applicable to me also. Why I may say, oh, so many years have gone, I know, I know everything. No, as much I needed that time, I need today also. Every day of life, we need the same dose of spirituality that we needed in the beginning days. Nothing changes. Our need doesn't change, we don't change, Lord doesn't change, spiritual life doesn't change. We need to be in it, that's all. Thank you. So, I again express my gratitude. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.